Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be going over some maintenance that you need to do on your wells. Today ours is leaking. Ours is leaking from the bottom of the switch. This is your pressure switch, and it runs down the line and drops here. So we're going to go over all that. I'll zoom in and show you a little bit. So there's the water dripping down this line here. It's coming from right up here. This is your pressure switch. If you remove this nut and pull it off, and it shows you everything. The green and white wire is coming from the motor itself, and then you have a black and white wire that's coming from, no, let me rephrase that. A white and black wire coming from the feed in, the green and black wire going to the motor. So the water's leaking, causing the pump to kick on and wearing down the little piston of the connectors, where when they touch it kicks the pump on them, makes the water pump. So that's the reason why we're going to switch it. Some of the tools you're going to need today is going to be basic Phillips screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, pair of pliers, and you might need a razor blade or a razor knife. We're going to make sure that our power is off to the pump so you don't get electrocuted, and you'll need one of these little jewels right here if you don't know which switch turns your pump off. So I should show you what this does. So you turn it on, lights up, makes a beep, means it's a hot line. Okay, now let's go shut our pump off. As luck would have it, I know which one of the breakers shuts off our well. So we'll go in here and shut it off. Now we'll go back out and we'll test it and make sure it's off for safety reasons. So we turned our breaker off, and no beeps, no red, so no power. So we're done with that little tool. You can pick these up at your local hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot, wherever you need to. So first things first, we're going to remove these wires, these screws, to loosen these wires up. And then there's this little nut here that holds the whole housing on. We're going to loosen it up so we can take it off, and then that will remove the pressure switch from the pump itself. And don't forget your ground wire. I can leave that on there because we'll use it again on the new one. So your new switch, they have different ones. Myself, I like the 60/40, which what that means is at 60 psi is when the pump shuts off. As the water runs and it drops down to 40 psi, it kicks it back up, starts everything back going again, pumping water. That helps, gives a little bit of time. That's my personal reference, is a 40/60 or 60/40, 40/60. You can get these at your hardware store, Lowe's, Tractor Supply, Home Depot, places like that. In the electrical / plumbing department. Open it up. There's your new switch. You have a new cover. And it also tells you in there a little schematics of everything. Just set the cover aside. It'll also come with directions on how to adjust your well, your pressure. One side does the 60, the other side does the 40. And you just take it out of there, and there's your new pressure switch. So we're now going to take the nut loose that holds the switch to the pump. So this here is the little nut that threads onto this part of the jet pump. There's part of your pump here to hold it up there in place. That being done, now we're going to take this off. So this is what was there. You just cut it off. You may have to go to your garage or something, get you a wrench. This just happens to be a 9/16, and kind of use it and break it loose. And I broke it loose. There's what we need out of that. So as with all piping, plumbing, it's always best to go back with a little bit of plumber's tape and just helps with leaks and making sure everything gets nice and tight. Wrap it around it a couple times. And there's your new nipple that will go into your new switch. Just take it and thread it in there. Get it a good couple good turns, and you want to make sure that you get that good and tight, because you don't want no leaks. That ought to do it. Be Be careful not to mess up anything on your new switch neither. So then you take this hose line. Remember, it's a hard plastic, and you want to push it up as far as you can. Feed the 2 wires from your pump back through there. Make sure it sits on there. Take your little nut there, put it back over your wires, and you want to make sure you get it on there correctly. If you look here, one side has teeth, the other one's got kind of a bevel to it. Put the bevel side to the pump. It's never easy. Use your screwdriver to tighten it if you can. It may take you several tries to get it on there. It's not an easy task, but you will get it. When you get it on there, just take you a hammer, or in my case, because I didn't bring my hammer out, put your flathead screwdriver on there. All you're doing is just giving a little love tap to make sure it doesn't move, to tighten it up. Alright, so now we got that back on there. Take your 2 wires, move them out of your way. Your ground wire, loosen it up, and all 4 of these up here on the head. It's important that when going back with wires, you know which ones are which. So you don't put these 2 wires on this side and the wires coming from the breaker on this side. They have to share. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this wire back where it was at. Okay, and our wires coming back from the house or from your breaker, you're going to feed in there. Like so. Take your ground wire, like to do is just kind of take my Phillips and bend it like so, make it like a half or half circle. I will be removing just a little bit of that off the one end because it doesn't need that much. Take it and take your flat screwdriver and pinch a little, make it pinch a little bit more if you like. Good and tight. Take your white wire back over here by your green wire where it was at. And sometimes they don't always go back as easy. But with a little coaxing, you can get it in there and get it around the screw. Keep it kind of close and tight. Tighten it up. Same way with this black wire that's coming out. This one's a braided wire. It's not a solid wire like the others. So take it and give it a little curl. Bring it in so you can see. Give it a little curl like that. And coax it in there. And tighten her down. Object is you want to make sure that none of these wires are touching each other neither. And lastly, we'll go with our last black wire. And then we'll tighten it up. So that's everything nice and tight again. Run your plug up in there. This helps keep insects out because they do like to get up in there and build little nests. That and stay warm. For now, we'll leave the cover off of it. Now we'll go turn our power back on. Alright, so we got the power back on. You hear the pump running, but you can see I have no pressure yet. So we got to prime it. Take a flathead screwdriver and just take it in there and disconnect that to where it stops running, and we'll get ready to prime it. Okay, so we're going to prime. A couple places you can prime from is take your pressure switch off, and we have this one right here. We're going to try here first. I will tell you, be prepared to get sprayed with water. So, start to climb. There we go. Now if you look, we have pressure. All right. Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up. Replacing your pressure switch on your well. Just gonna run over a couple things real quick, give you some close-ups, and here we are. Let's see. If you look there, the green wire and black wire right here coming from the well, the white wire and this black wire coming from the breaker. You can see how I got them on there. Once again, it's a 40-60 switch, which means it shuts off at 60 and the pump will kick on at 40. And if you need to adjust it, these right here are what you use. And we thank you all for watching the video. If you haven't, please don't forget to like it, and please subscribe to our channel. We appreciate that, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you. Have a nice day.